Hey y'all, I just want to come on and talk about life and spirituality and you know what you can learn from my crazy adventures. If you've watched my videos, you know I've been living out of my car, traveling around the continental U.S., mostly in California currently, and just the crazy shit that I've seen and the lessons I gained from that, and what comes to mind recently is that I'm the sort of person who I don't like to see someone else being down and out in life, and if I can do something to help, I will, without question. And more often than not, I tend to overdo it. I give more than I can really reasonably expect to receive back at any point in time, farther down in the future. But that aside, what I want to say is, I said before, you can't save everybody, you can't help everybody, and that's something I've had to learn the hard way quite a few times. But to kind of piggyback off of that idea, um, when you do try to help someone, make sure that you know energetically. Make sure you know who you're dealing with. Uh, they may because people may present themselves as benign, so to speak, or having not not having any ill intentions. But if you continue to engage in this relationships with people, whether they're platonic or whatever, uh, that aren't good for you, um, sooner or later it's going to make your life a living hell. And I have gone around and around with that situation more than once recently, in the past couple months, even the past few years, 5, 10, 15 years. I've given my compassion and my empathy to people uh, who didn't really understand the depth of what I was offering, or I guess more specifically, they didn't respect it. They didn't appreciate it properly. Uh, it's not to say that they weren't grateful necessarily, but people tend to misinterpret kindness as. I'm not going to go with the kindness and weakness thing. Everybody knows that. That's true, but um, they tend to overestimate the acts of kindness that you provide to other people, to the point where they think, okay, well, because they're being kind now, that they'll be kind later, and I can just take more later, and they won't say anything about it. And I'm one of those people that generally, yeah, I don't say much about it. I bite my tongue, I bide my time. I'm very stoic and un, un, un what's the word? Unflappable, I think is the word. But sooner or later, these people that you try and give your consideration to, your help or your time or your energy or your money or whatever you're offering to them, they tend to think that, or they get subconsciously they get it in their head that they can take more and more and more, or expect more and more, and not face any backlash about it. And when it gets to that point, you have to stand up and say no, enough is enough, and you have to put aside any concern for their feelings, or how you might hurt their feelings, because if you don't, you're just asking for more pain. And I have been through this myself. Again, like I said, I've been through this myself. Uh, and it sucks. It really does. It makes you feel like garbage because it makes you feel unvalued. Not garbage, but it makes you feel like you're not truly valued for what you're bringing to the table. Um, and then it kind of sours your good intentions because these people come along who need this, who need so much help with this or that. You know, like I had this guy recently. I don't know who, don't know him personally, other than running around with him these past few days. And it's one of those uh, homeless, hitchhiking, drug addict, alcoholic type characters that I didn't see all that immediately at first, but like as the days rolled on, and I saw more and more of this guy, or I saw more into him. Looked more into his character and his personality and his demeanor, even the way he spoke, the way he acted. And I got really bad vibes from him. He played like he was, yeah, he talked like he was very spiritual and enlightened and you know whatnot. But what I gathered from the overall collective bunch of information that I observed from this guy was that he's just an addict. He's just some junkie looking for his next hit, or his next bottle of booze, or his cigarettes, or whatever. He'd go on and on about how he doesn't lie or cheat or steal or whatever. And I'm like, sure, dude. Like I didn't say that to him, but it was like I could just tell he was full of shit. And I was trying, and then my trying to help him, my thoughts turned from, well, I can't help this guy, and I don't want to. Now I just want to figure out how to get the fuck how to fucking get rid of him and be done with it. And that leads to my next point is that when you get in those situations with these kind of people, there is no figuring it out. It's you have to say no and mean it. You have to draw a line, and if motherfucker crosses that line, you game over. Like, he promising for several days, to help me fill my gas tank because I was, playing driving Miss Daisy with this, I'm gonna hold my language, but even now it's making me angry. But like I felt like I was just being some junkie's chauffeur, and all I expected out of it was, okay, well, fill my gas tank so I can move on to what I need to do when this is all said and done and over with. And of course, he wouldn't pay. He'd put like a few dollars or whatever in there, but that was sufficient to even put a gallon of gas in California rates. That's ridiculous. A dollar is not even going to get you a gallon of gas. So I digress from that, but just don't trust everybody. Don't just jump in head first to helping someone because you see them having a need. You will only regret it, and you'll probably end up paying a price for it. Whether it's financially or legally. Even like I was fearful of getting arrested because this guy was just a wild card. Like I couldn't predict what he was going to do. He was just that off the leash, so to speak. Uh, yeah, like just be careful. People out there who see that you are a spiritual being will take advantage of that, and they will sink their claws in as deep as they can and hold on as long as they can. and the removal process it can be very painful. Like I got out pretty easy with this one, but just don't know who you're dealing with first before you decide to help them. Observe them and get an idea of if this person is worthy of your concern or not. So I'm not gonna pull any cards. I was thinking about pulling cards, but I need to like recenter and like I just dropped him off this morning, and I just don't have the. I'm not really in that headspace or heart space right now to do that, but I will do some card draws tomorrow or the next day. I am trying to find enough money to get my gas tank filled up and head on out of town where I'm at now. Um, but that's a problem for another day, and I got other things I got to worry about as well. So yeah, that's my little 5 minute rant, I guess, or 10 minute rant now, I guess technically. But yeah, yeah, just be smart, be careful. I'll talk to y'all later.